Good evening, and for the purposes of recording, hope you're well this evening. If you are watching this and at any point you've got any questions, please just let me know and I'll be happy to help. No particular requests today, so I'm going to just work through full body like I would do normally. I've just let the people who are live on there just let me know, but I've got a little bit of a jippy belly today, so if you do see me doing some work and it's not quite as full as the stretch I would do normally, just do the stretch that you would do normally, and to a certain extent ignore how far I'm going, because I might go a little bit less than I do normally. Just ignore that. Right, so I actually want to start weirdly in a position that we've never actually started before. We're actually going to come onto our feet, but come right down low into a squat position. Can I make a suggestion that you guys get a cushion? And it's actually a little bit easier to do this position when you actually got your heels elevated. So the position I want to get into is here. So if you can see that, okay, I'm just going to give you guys a second just to get into it. Harry, can you turn that down, please? So you kind of, it's much easier. You don't need to elevate your heels, but it's much easier if you do. And this position, first of all, it stretches out a number of different muscles, but also you do need to rely on your balance a little bit. So we're going to work on a few balance things as well today. But I wanted to start with the fact that you do need to kind of balance slightly. So if you can bring your knees wide apart and then bring your hands inside, and then I want you to try and put them on the floor. Now, it looks like we're going to go and do a crow pose. I'm not suggesting that this evening. Definitely not on the list. But if you just put your hands nice and flat and you're leaning forwards, and then I want you to just use your elbows to bring your knees away. Now, if you stay where you are, I'm just going to show everyone this way. So this is what it should look like from the side. Okay, so you're using the pressure from your elbows to actually stretch quite strongly, stretch out your inner thighs. So I know you're going to feel a little bit like a frog right now, but if you just drop your head and just take some nice deep breaths. Now, this should be quite strong because it's not actually that often we sit there and just stretch out your inner thigh. It doesn't get too much of a stretch in a normal situation, so just relax into this. Good. Just very, very slightly bring yourself out of that. Now, a variation on this is to actually put one hand down, and then we're going to lift one hand up, and you're going to try and look at that hand. Okay, not the easiest, this one. And then bring it down. I'm starting fairly tough today, blimey. And up. No mucking about, that's it. Straight into a big old stretch. And up. And bring it down. That's it. Now, if you're feeling like you're getting pins and needles or cramp, for goodness sake, please stop, okay? And the way to get out of this is just come forwards and just waggle your feet, okay? So if you are feeling, oh God, I can't hold this for much longer, please do that. So let's go again. So we're going to bring this up and really stretch up and look up at that hand. And then we're going to bring it down. And then the other side. So when you're moving over, that knee is obviously coming out. Look up to your hand, nice and elegant, and then bring it back down. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to sit back, and you're going to come into, it should fall relatively swiftly into a butterfly position. If you're on your cushion, that should be quite comfortable. If you're not comfortable, just move the cushion away from you. And we're going to keep those legs nice and close to us as much as you can, okay? Because obviously everyone's flexibility is different. If you're able to, I want you to get a good old grip of those toes. Now, what that might do is make your back do this. So I want you to try and lift your chest up and lift your back straight. Now, if this is not possible and we're out here, don't worry, just keep your hinge your hips a little bit more. But if not, I want you right in and lift up. That's it. Now, I very, very rarely ask people to pulse your muscle groups and your tendons. But this is one where you certainly, there is very little danger when you do this. So we're going to butterfly beat the wings. Okay, so you're nice and upright, you're holding on to your toes if you can, and then we're going to do a little beat of those wings. Now, this is, I have mentioned this previously, but this is really, really good for digestion. Might be why I naturally wanted to do this. I'm thinking about it. And for the ladies who are in that position, period pain. If you're getting menstrual cramps, anything along those lines, very uncomfortable situation, this is a really good one. It just opens up the whole, according to yoga, chakra. That's it. Right, okay, just stop the beating, and then I want you to bring your hands out, and we're going to do very similar things. So I want you to hold on to your ankle area. Try not to hold at the back. I don't want you to pinch your sciatic nerve. Just bring it, and then just use your elbows and try and come out to the side as much as possible. Now, I know there is a marked difference between the people in the class. So if you're up here, I just want you to try and come out as much as you can and push your hands together and take a deep breath in wherever you are and bring it out. Okay, and if we are right down here, if you're on the floor, you're on the floor. Just lucky you. And just drop your head wherever you are. Good, and just slowly bring yourself out of that. Now we're going to release toes and or legs, and we're going to crawl forwards. Now this is a little bit different to when we've actually got our legs crossed. This is stronger because obviously there's pressure pushing outwards already. So you may not be able to get anywhere near as low as you can normally. Don't worry about it, just go with what your hips will allow. Just creep those fingers forwards, drop your head, and just, you're going to need to curve your back on this one. Don't go so low if it's hurting your hips, okay? Just go as low as your hips will allow, and try really hard to relax them down because they might feel quite stressed, especially if you're stressed. Okay, and just roll it up. Bring yourself out of this. Apologies, Charlie, Harry, you're going to have to turn that right down or go into another room, please. It's really, really loud. Right down. Sorry, everyone. Right. So keep your legs in that position and then bring your hands behind you. Just being careful of bits of furniture and coffee tables and small dogs and cats and whatever. Just keep your feet where they are, and then you're going to just squeeze your shoulder blades and create that arch. And again, when you've got this position, everything should feel quite open. Just allow it to relax. Deep breath in. Try not to fling your head back. And relax. Deep breath in. Let your chest open up. And one more. It should feel quite, I wouldn't be surprised if this feels very tight. That's it. Okay. And nice and slowly roll yourself out of that one. Stay in this position if it's comfortable to do so. If it's not, just bring yourself forward and just you know, just release your legs out. Okay. If you're still comfortable to do this, then stay here. We're going to come to the side, but what I want to do is two versions. The one which is the normal version, and then one which is a bit more of a through. So we're going to start with that one. Hand down to the side, and then I want you to just push it across and through. That's it. And then bring it back round. And then come to the other side. So you're pushing across as opposed to going around. Now what you'll find is that your lat right around here gets that. Sort of the side of your lat. And then bring it back again. And let's do that again. So shoot it across. Really try and stretch out and lean. Really bring those fingertips right into the corner of your room and then back up. and then across and shoot it across. Really stretch, get right by those lats, and then back again. Right, notice the difference between that and what we're going to do next. It feels weirdly different. So even though it's same but different, arm up as we normally do, up nice and tall, and then we're going to lean over. Can you feel the difference? It's right here as opposed to behind. And just get a really nice lean over and just get gravity to push you over. And hopefully what you'll find as well is your knees are starting to come down a bit because gravity is just loosening them. Up nice and tall first, and then over. Lovely. And again, up and over. Wonderful. And up. And lean it nice, gently over. Good. And bring it up. Wonderful. Right, let's get our legs out of this position now because they might be feeling a tad achy right here. So I just want you to gently bring yourself out of that and just squeeze them forwards. Please do that slowly, otherwise it will pinch your groin. Okay, so we're still on our little cushions, and if that feels comfortable still, then please do it. And just bring your bum slightly to the front of the cushion. And we're just going to give those legs a little shake out. That's it, right. Sitting yourself nice and upright. Now, if you're on your cushion, you should feel like it's pushing you up a little bit more upright. And then we're going to bring our arms up nice and tall. Flex those toes. Sorry, that's just out of camera. And then roll it forwards. Bring it down. Roll it down. Now, if you have got hold of your toes, just push your toes forward and you should get that right around your shoulder blades. Good. And then just release and bring your arms up by your ears and finishing the move. Lovely. Right, let's do that again. Up. Good. Hinge. It's not a curve, it's a hinge. Bring it down. Try and keep that back relatively straight. Now, this time, I want you to look up and look ahead. So you should, you're not using your head as a weight, and you can still push those hips forward and you feel that in a slightly different place. Just watch your lower back on this one. Very nice. Okay, release and bring yourself up. And release down. Wonderful. Right, let's be some beautiful mermaids now. So if you just bring one leg in and then one leg to the side, okay? So you're creating some little triangles here. Now, you might need to jig yourself around a little bit for this one. So I'm just going to move myself slightly further forward. So you've got the positions here. I want you to bring your hands behind you. And if that means your cushion is in the way, please just lose the cushion. And what we're going to do is pendulum swing is probably the best way of describing it. Up and over, up and over. Now, this is quite a good loosener for your hips. Let me show you. So you're up and over, up and back to the same position. So you're swinging, and it's quite, if you get there, it's quite strong around there. Just watch your knees as well if you have got very tight knees, because obviously they are taking a bit of strain one way than the other. And just sort of swing yourself. Be careful of your wrists because they have got to take a little bit of your weight here. Up and over, up and over. Now the cushion might not stay where you put it, but lose it if it's getting on your nerves. Up and over, and try and bring those knees to the floor. Not that easy necessarily. That's it. Up and over. Right, if you come back to where you were originally, so we're up into our first part of our Little Mermaid here. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a diagonal stretch. Okay, I'm going to just be aware of the fact that I might hit the the coffee table, which wasn't my point. So just bring, so you've got your legs in one way. There'll be an obvious way that it's easier to lean. So we're going to start that way. So just natural lean, that's the hand that's going back first. And then you're going to bring your arm up and back. Now you may be able to actually come down on your forearm there. Now what you should feel is that stretch all the way down here. Okay, it should be quite strong. That's it. Really stretch it back. Now you're going to push off your forearm with your hands down there, and then you're going to curl it around. Now be careful, everything's twisted here, so it's not very low, this one, not at all. That's it, and stay where you are, and then we're going to come back again and see if you can just even feel like you can get an inch lower, just because you should be more stretched out. Deep breath and up, push, and glide yourself over. Beautiful. Good. Okay, and bring yourself back to center. Now we're going to do some little sweeps, okay? So we're going to start, which again is the slightly more natural way that you would go, and you're going to bring it down, come forwards and back, okay? And then you're going to come back and forwards and back. So just flow yourself forwards and round, and flow yourself back again. And let's do one more. All sorts of hip, knee, your leg kind of movements here, your back, your spine, all sorts of things being stretched out here. Okay, and back up to the center. Lovely. Right, so beautifully and elegantly, we're going to swap our little mermaid over to the other side. So up and over. Okay, just get yourself comfortable. Now, again, if you have got very, very tight hips and or knees, it's very unlikely that everything's going to be directly on the floor. My knee won't allow my leg to go out any further. So if you're thinking, why isn't this, it's very likely to be an impingement on something. So don't worry if you're like, oh, well, hang on a minute, I could do it one side, then I couldn't do the other. Don't worry. Just sit as to how your body feels comfortable. So remember the natural way of leaning, which there should be one, that hand, you're bringing it backwards. And then we're going to come backwards, so you're diagonal, okay? If you can, you're going to bring it right back and stretch. So you've got to stretch all the way down here, all the way to that hip flexor. Nice and strong, but should be very pleasant. Bringing it up, and then you're going to come diagonally forwards and stretch. Very unlikely you're going to go too far with this one, especially not with that knee, it's having none of it. Now, in this position, my knee is desperately trying to do this, so just try and bring it down. Try and relax everything down. Okay, let's come back again. So let's swing it back. Come down into your forearm if you're able to. Stretch. And you're going to push your hand off and come forwards and stretch it around this way. And bring it back up to center. Lovely. Right, so we're going to do those little swings. And again, there's a more natural way to go, which is a little bit easier. But for goodness sake, don't fall forward. So we're going to sweep it round, come forwards, feel your hips taking that and back, and then swing it round and the other way. Good. Swing it forwards and round. Very beautiful. And back and forwards and round. And the other way, and come back to center. Lovely. Right, let's move our position now, because your legs might be feeling a little tiny bit crampy now. So just bring yourself up and bring your knees together. And I want you to lean back and just do a little kick. Okay, just give them a little roll. Oh, bit of a stretch out. That's it, just get them moving again. Lovely. Okay. Right, so I wanted to do a bit of work on all fours now. So cushion can be involved on your knees if you need it to, but we're going to flip over. I'm going to put one on my knees because, again, my knee's angry. and come onto all fours. So you should be feeling really solid. Okay, when you're down here, I really want you to be thinking, right, okay, I am really solid, I'm in control, I feel comfortable in this position, not, oh God, I'm all over the place. So again, if you're feeling a little bit unbalanced, I just want you to close your eyes and just think, right, okay, I'm into the center here. Where am I feeling? Am I too left? Am I too right? Forward, backwards. If your wrists, Zoe, are feeling a little bit fragile still, just obviously just lean it very slightly back. And again, if your knees are feeling particularly angry today, just lean it very slightly forwards and take some pressure off them. Okay, so if everything is feeling okay, we're going to feel centered. We're going to go up and really do a very nice strong cat stretch. You guys know full well how to do a cat stretch. I really want you to try and slightly exaggerate it. Get that good old stretch all the way up. And then we're going to bring that through. And exactly the same thing. Really exaggerate it. So really think, right, tailbone right up. Abs really stretched. Lift my head. And just think, oh, really good stretch right at that lower back and your abs. Come through to center and then curl it all the way up. Nice and strong. Remember to breathe. Through to center and really drop it down. Particularly though if your abs are feeling pretty strong. Oh, I've done loads of work. Just get that really good stretch out. Okay, and bringing it through and up. And through and drop. Wonderful. And bring it back to center. Okay, we're going to sit it back and we're going to go straight into a really nice child's pose. So just split your knees if you want to. It's completely up to you as to what's more comfortable. And you're going to really roll those hands forwards. Last minute, drop that head. Whilst you're in this position, just really take a moment to just try and relax everything out. Your back, your shoulders, your hips. Drop that head. Feel it as heavy as a weight. Excellent. Right, just very, very gently bring yourself out of that and just come back. Now, a really, really good one for getting around your shoulders and lats area. Now, we did this, I think, a few weeks ago, is we're going to bring the elbows forward. So bring yourself onto your knees and sit back. And then we're going to crawl it forwards and then keep crawling forwards with your elbows. So your elbows are quite far out and you're going to sit back and then those hands are going to go behind your head. And then you're going to sit back. Now you should feel lats, triceps getting a really good stretch here. And this is actually not stretched that much. It's not that easy to stretch this area. So really sit back, leave your elbows out and sit back. Okay, take a deep breath in and release yourself out of this. And then sit back down again. Keep those elbows right nice and out. Get back into that stretch again. Good. Just unfold yourself from this. Right, we're going to go back into your child's pose. And what I'd like you to do is exaggerate it slightly by rocking from one side to the other. It's a very small rock, but actually it gets your shoulder really deep. So you're out, and then you're just going to rock, if that makes sense, from one side to the other, and you're just dipping your armpit basically nearer to the floor, one side than the other. It's quite strong, so just be careful. Good. Nice and slowly. Just bring yourself out of that. Now, I want to do a move that Zoe and I came up with quite a while ago because there was something aggravating right down here. So just, I've just moved. You don't need to move. Just stay, just back onto your heels. And if you bring one arm up and back, and Zoe, you remember this one, we're going to hold on. So it's very similar to the move there. And then we're going to come forwards and across. So I'm going to do this to the side. It's not that easy to describe. So you're going to bring your hand back, hold onto your elbow, curve forwards like a cat stretch, and then come to the side. Now, the area that we were trying to stretch out was right underneath her shoulder blade. So if you, the more you lean down and the more you lean across, you should get that. It's right underneath that shoulder blade. It's sort of your lap, but not quite tight to the side. And then come up and release. Let's go the other side. So I'm gonna swap around so you can see again. So we're gonna come up and back, take hold of that elbow and bring it back like you would do for a tricep stretch. Then you're gonna curl down and come across. Now, if you slightly fiddle around with it, you'll get that really strong bit right at the bottom of your shoulder blade. That's it, hold it there. Good, and come back up and release. Wonderful, right. If it's comfortable to do so, please stay there. If it's not, just come onto your, just sit down on your bum, because I know it can be a bit uncomfortable on your heels. So just roll those shoulders, really nice big rolls. And the other way, really nice big rolls. Good, okay. So hands in front of you, and then we're gonna roll it down. Just nice and slowly roll it down in your hip flexors. I've got to do something here. Right to the floor, so you're in a little ball. Nice deep breath when you're down here. And then you're going to lift your head and squeeze up. That's it. Good. Control required here. Crossing your arms. Let's do the same thing again. You're just going to flow this down. Flow, flow, flow. Release. Drop your head. Deep breath and lift your head and recross your arms and lift. Get those hip flexors to do the work. Oh. Okay, right. Bringing it up to your temples. If you're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Just keep where you were. All the way down. Try and just curl down into that little ball. Drop your head. Deep breath in. Out. Lift. And really work. Oh, come on, hip flexors. Up we go. Lovely. And last one, all the way up and hinge forward. So just stay where you are. I'm going to do this to the side. All the way down. This is the hard one. So you're almost into a child's pose. Drop your head. Deep breath in. Out. Lift. And lift. Oh. Up, 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 up. Try and keep that bum to the heels. Hey. Lovely. Good. Wonderful. Okay, back onto all fours. So let's drop through to our thread the needle and just make sure that those shoulders are really comfortable. Drop through. And then we're going to twist and lift that arm up. Apologies, everyone. I've got a sports bra on, don't worry. Try and look at that hand. Try and bring yourself around as much as possible. And bring yourself back and unfold. And then you're going to bring the other way. Jumper's having none of it. Bring it round. And twist and lift. Looking up at that hand. And bringing it down. And roll yourself back up. Lovely. Right, come on to your knees now. So just give me a second. I'm just going to bring that round so you can see me. Apologies, my head's cut off as well. So we're going to come up onto our knees. And what I'd like you to do is bring one foot forwards. Okay. Now, this is very, very similar to what we did when we started. So we're going to come down. And this is obviously, you know, a lizard pose. So we're going to come right down. But what I want you to do is lift your arm again. Now, may I make a suggestion that it's the inside arm? Okay, so you've got your hands on the inside. It is a lot easier to lift up the inside arm. So the outside arm stays and the inside one we're going to lift up. That's it. And if you're able to, we're looking at that. This is quite strong. So if you're dipped down and your arms are up, this is quite strong. Bringing it down and back down. Now, the other one, I want you to lift and you're going to bring behind you. Okay, so it's sort of warrior-ish. I think there's some pose which is very similar in yoga. You're going to lift and bring it behind you. Now, just keep everything there and just stretch it out. Good, and bring it down. And let's go up again. So all the way up. Stretch it up. Let that hip flexor sink. It will sink. And bring it back. And then we're going to swap position and bring it backwards. Hold it there. And bring your hand down. Beautiful. Okay, just use your hands, lift off. And then we're going to swap sides. So you stay where you are and swap sides. I'm going to come to the side so you can see what I was doing, if you're not sure. So forwards. And then we're going to bring that down to lizard. That's it. Hold it down there. So starting with the inside, you're going to bring it up. Come up. Stretch it up and really sink that down. Hold it there. Very strong, this one. And bringing it down. And you're going to swap weight and bring this one back. That's it. And bring it down. Let's do that again. So swapping weight and lift up. Remember to breathe. Bring your hand down and bring the other one up and back and just lift your head up. And bring your hand down. Lovely. Push your hands away and curl yourself back up. Very nice. Good. Nice bit of yoga, that one. Right. So just bring your legs back and then we're just going to do just a little wriggle. Okay. So the last bit, I actually want to come up and do some things up. Now, a lot of the time we're on the floor, but we have, I hope, done quite a few different things today. So I want to bring it up and work on a couple of balance work and stretch work up. So again, I wouldn't normally just ask you to stand up. So if you want to just tuck your toes under, bring your hands down and come onto your toes. And then we're going to head down, bum up, hold it here and relax down. Bringing your hands to the folds of your arms, just creating a little box, and then just put your head in the box. And you're going to just really try and relax your shoulders down. And what this does feel is like you're putting pressure on it, just really sinks everything down. Just make a note of where you were before and just have a think, like, yeah, all right, I touched the floor. But now if you release now, you should feel that you're much lower to the floor. Quite weird. Okay, now nice and slowly, we're going to roll it up. curl up. Please bear in mind we have been on the floor for a while. Lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Head last, deep breath in, arms up. If you want to come up onto your toes as well. Big stretch. Ooh. And roll it down. Wonderful. Right, if you just stay there for a second, I'm just going to bring this up. Okie dokie. Hi. Look at the state. Oh dear. Right, I'm just going to get that pillow out of the way because I don't think that's going to help my balance. Right, and again, apologies for the state of my balance because it may not be amazing this evening. Right, so we'll start with something simple. We're going to bring our hands to our chest and just lift one foot off, okay? Doesn't really matter how far, we're just going to lift that foot off. Now, I want you to push the hands out and look at your hands. So don't look at the screen, don't look at anything else, look at your hands. Good, bring your hands down, bring your foot down. Good, easy. Right, let's do the other side, see what that's doing today. Right, so hands to your chest, lift one foot off. Let's start simple. Bring your hands forwards. I'm just going to do to the side so you can see what I'm doing. And then just looking at your hands. Now again, when you change the focus, not quite so easy. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly, just try and still your mind. Bring your hands down, bring your foot down. Beautiful. Right, let's make that a little bit harder, of course. If you're like, no, I don't want to make that any harder, then just stick with where we were, that's no problem. So hands to your chest, foot. Push that out. Now, I don't even know I'm going to be able to demo this looking up. Take your stare up with you. Oh, balance is not good this evening. Looking up. Bring it down. Bring your foot down. Oh dear, that wasn't a good demo, was it? Right, other side. Let's do this to the side now. So, hands to your chest, foot up. Bring your hands out. And then when you're balanced, you're going to bring your stare up. I can't even slightly do this today. Bring your stare up. And try to balance. And bring it back down. Man, I could do this morning. Oh, I am tired. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? So if you're like, no, that really didn't work, I need to try that again. So let's start again. So hands out to start with. Okay, and then you're going to lift up. Definitely don't have a still mind today. And relax down. I hope you're having more success with this than I am. Right, out. And then you're lifting your stare up. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Oh. Ah! Brilliant, right. Okay, I would say let's make this harder. Clearly not. Let's change it. Okay, so we're going to go to the side now. So foot off, hands out. And then I want you to twist. So your hips are staying still. It's a twist. And then you're going to bring your leg out. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. Out and twist. But I really want you to keep those hips still. Now, again, this isn't easy. Your leg, you'll feel that your glute there, medius, and around to the side of your thigh has got to do some work. Okay, bring your hands down, bring your leg down. Lovely. Right, let's try the other side. So foot off, hands forward, twist first, and then bring your leg out to the side. Your leg is out to the side, not diagonal to where your hands are, so your hips have got to twist and do some work. You should feel quite a few muscles engaging there. I don't know about you, but I can. Good, and bring that back to the center and bring it down. Very, very good. Right, let's just get out of that. Oh, that's it, little jig. Right, so I'm going to finish this evening with some more stretches, but upright. We're going to go a tiny bit more dynamic. So this is what I tend to do with a bit more active classes or PT to sort of get everyone a little bit more ready for a bigger session. So I just wanted to run through them with you just to make sure that you're aware of them and that they're quite important. So first, what I would do is we're going to roll up and roll down, but go a little bit quicker. So instead of fan down, we're going to go down, hold it for a second, back up, and down, hold it for a second. Okay, so not all the way up. We're going to go straight chin to chest, roll it down, and drop your head, touch the floor if you've got, and then we're rolling it back up. Roll your shoulders at the top, and then we're rolling down again. So it's a much more speedy, dynamic way of doing this. And up, and roll your shoulders. And one more, roll it down. That's it, drop your head, touch the floor if you can, roll it up, and roll those shoulders. Good, right, okay, let's keep this shoulder roll going. So we're rolling, and we're rolling the other way. Good, right, now we're going to roll the arms, so all the way up and round. And then we're rolling the other way. Try really hard not to body roll. It's very easy to do that. One more. Good. Right. Now there's chest and shoulder that what we can do. So it's here. So you're crossing and you're back, crossing and back. Now what I'd like you to do is get used to that, and then we're going to double it. So pump, pump, back, back. If you can see what I'm doing there. Forwards, forwards, back, back. Forwards, forwards, and back, back. Let's go one more. Good. Okay. Right. Always a good idea just to roll those wrists. Oh, God. You hear that? Ooh, clicky. And give them a shake out. Right. Again, we did this on the floor, but I want to go slightly more dynamically. So we're going to put one hand on your hip, and you're going to push and across. Push. Feel that stretch right at the back. Across and push, and across and push. Let's go one more each side. It feels quite different when you do this tiny more dynamically. Right, let's come up and over. Again, we're used to doing this much more slowly. See how the difference it feels when you're doing it faster. Up and over, windmill it over, up and over. Lovely. Okay, now a supine twist we do very frequently. So we've got our leg and we come over and we hold it. A very different way of doing that is if you bring your hands, just bend your knees slightly, hip width apart, and then you're going to rock from one side to the other. So you should, if you're lucky, get a little click. And that is if you're lucky. I wish I could. Oh, that's it. Bring it round and bring it round. So keep your hips still. Bend your knees very slightly, or they tend to click. And you're just going to try and just twist your spine round, twist your spine round. Let's go two more, 1 and 2, and bring that back to center. Wonderful. Okay, so with your hips, your hip flexors, the best one to do is the one that we did, which was the lizard. But again, if you're upright and you're trying to do something a little bit more dynamic, put your hands on your hips, and we're going to come forwards, get the back of your legs slightly, and then squeeze. Okay, so it's not a bridge. You're just squeezing your hips forward and squeeze your glutes. And come back down and back, squeeze. Not a bridge. Down, back nice and straight, and then squeeze your hips forward. And let's go one more. Back down and squeeze your hips forwards. Absolutely beautiful. Right. Another excellent one is a little bit of a swing. Now, again, you need to keep your balance on this one. If you're like, balance, you must be joking, I've lost it entirely. Hold on to something, wall, door, anything like that, chair, and we're going to do some little swings. Hopefully you can see that. So you're swinging across and back. If you're not holding it onto anything, obviously just hips. Oh God, honestly, today, what's the matter with me? And let's go the other side. So you're swinging across your body and out, across your body and out. Now again, they don't need to be huge, you know, swathing things. It's the fact that your hips are moving this way. Okay, that's one of the planes of movements of your hip. And obviously you've got to use your balance. Okay, now, instead of coming that way, we're going to do that way, which again is another plane of your hip. So bringing it forwards and back. Now, if you haven't got much room to do that, then obviously just bend your leg. You're kicking forwards and backwards. Again, this is quite a good one to really wake those hips up. Okay, let's swap sides. And up and across. Step forward and back. Might get some clicks on the go. Very likely to get some clicks on the go. And bring it back. Okay. Now, a really good one for your calves is coming up onto your toes. Now, obviously we do that at the end of the session anyway, but if you come up onto your toes and then rock backwards, again, that's not so easy to see in the camera. So we're coming up and rock. Balance required. Oh dear, why am I doing loads of balance stuff today? It's not a good idea, is it? And back. Up, squeeze your glutes. And back. Now you should feel that right down your calves. Let's just do a few more. And up and back. Lovely. Right, not forgetting, so we've gone all the way down your ankles. Okay, so we've done our wrists. Let's do the very similar thing for the ankles. So again, balance. Oh God. And we're going to roll. Oh, that's so clicky. Yuck. And the other way. This is a good one to do if you're at your desk, by the way, and you're like, oh God, everything hurts. No one knows you're doing it because it's underneath the desk. Just roll your ankles. And swapping sides, up and round. Oh, that's much less clicky. And the other way. Good, okay. What I tend to do is just give everything a shake right at the end. Okie dokie. So we have gone quite a lot stronger today, done quite a lot of balance work, which I apologize in advance for. And we've gone a little bit more dynamic. So if there is something that you want to do more dynamically when you're doing your stretching, there's a really good set of options there. So as always, we're going to finish with a nice little sweep. So we're going to try and get that heart rate nice and controlled again. So we're going to come down, hip width apart, deep breath in, and lift. Good. And again, I'm going to try to keep my balance. Oh dear, and up. And one more time, all the way down. And nice big stretch up, deep breath in, lift, and back down. Wonderful. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Beautiful. Just 1 second.